Going into our second story of the day, we got federal court declaring Biden's student loan bailout is illegal. This is a victory right now, folks. A victory as of right now. As always, again, hit that like and subscribe button. So we talked about this at length, and I was like, why are we having to pay for somebody else's schooling? Why are we subsidizing for somebody else's schooling when they went down and took out that loan themselves? They volunteered to do it. It wasn't like anybody twisted their arm. They went and did it themselves. Why should we have to pay for somebody else's education as an adult? You got a bunch of blue collar workers that never went to college that are having to subsidize somebody else's college. You have those like myself that paid off our student loans, paid off a $60,000 student loan in a year and a half. But now I have to pay for somebody else's student loan because they're the one who took it out in the first place. But then they're shocked when they go in the basket weaving or lesbian dance theory and they can't pay off their loan because they're not getting paid enough money. Well, again, it's just a redistribution of wealth, socialism, and this is what Joe Biden wants. But then Joe Biden's going to call a bunch of people that says socialism is bad a bunch of idiots. A federal judge in Texas ruled Thursday evening that President Joe Biden's student loan bailout is illegal, dealing a massive blow to the administration. Just a punch to the gut because this is one of his campaign promises, which is really, I think, at the end of the day, why he pushed it through, whether he agrees with it or not. He wanted to keep his promise because his base was pissed that he wasn't pushing it through. Yet U.S. District Judge Mark Pittman made the ruling in response to a lawsuit filed by the Job Creators Network Foundation, which alleged that Biden's student loan bailout violated federal procedures. The Job Creators Network filed a lawsuit last month on behalf of two borrowers, one who did not qualify for the full amount the program offered, and another who was deemed ineligible altogether. Here's the quote. The case involves a question of whether Congress, through the HEROES Act, which you've heard before from Peter Doocy, as well as Jackie Henrick of Fox News, gave the secretary authority to implement a program that provides debt forgiveness to millions of student loan borrowers, totaling over $400 billion, Pittman wrote. Whether the program constitutes good public policy is not the role of this court to determine. Still, no one can plausibly deny that it is either one of the largest delegations of legislative power to the executive branch or one of the largest exercises of legislative power without congressional authority in the history of the United States. I agree with this fully. Ben Shapiro has talked about it. Steven Crowder's talked about it. I mean, Charlie Kirk. I mean, you name a conservative Republican, this is what we've all been saying. This is such an overreach. It's ridiculous. This is such an imbalance of power coming from the executive branch. It's head spinning. Democrats are all for it. Joe Biden doesn't see a problem with it. This is a party that loves power. They love big government. It's not a shock they would try to do something like this, but it's an overreach. Quote, in this country, we're not ruled by an all-powerful executive with a pen and phone. That's exactly what I just said. Instead, we are ruled by a constitution that provides the three district and independent branches of government. As President James Madison warned, the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary, is the same hands. So he's coming from the Federalist Papers here. I believe it's Federalist 47. I almost said 45. I think it's 47. In the same hands, whether one, a few, or many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may just be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. Again, this is from Madison in the Federalist Papers. The court is not blind to the current political division in our country, he concluded, but it is a fundamental to the survival of our republic that the separation of powers as outlined in our Constitution be preserved. Thank you for the love of God that you have some guy out there that's a judge that actually understands, and it seems like is a constitutionalist and actually gets the idea of how this country should work. Democrats don't get it. Progressive lefts that are on the courts don't get it. This guy actually understands it. Thank God. What a way to end the week, right? With somebody that actually uses their noggin, and we have them here going against a clear overreach of the executive branch. And having been interpreted by the HEROES Act, which is just head spinning, you guys, the fact that they try to throw the HEROES Act in there. The court holds that it does not provide clear congressional authorization or authority for the program proposed by the secretary. Biden's controversial student loan bailout would cancel up to $10,000 for student loan for individuals who are in less than $125,000 a year. Folks, I'm going to be blunt here. If you owe, just say $10,000 in your student loan debt and you make six figures, you're not doing your budget correctly. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the facts. That's the truth. You also have, or less than $250,000 for married couples. Karine Jean-Pierre saying, well, we want to relieve the burden on these people. And what they could do with that $10,000 is they could put it down on a mortgage. Oh, goody. So go get that debt relieved. Take that money, put it on a mortgage that has a higher interest rate because the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates. You got mortgage rates upwards of like 7% plus in some areas. No, that's good. No, that's perfect. So just put yourself more in the debt. That's a great idea. So at least, again, I wanted to end this off on a good note because this is a great thing for us that there's still judges out there that are ruling correctly, that look at the Constitution, they look at the Federalist Papers, they look at the way the founding and our government was created and actually go with it. Rather than, oh, well, let's just give the executive branch all the power. Well, just swipe of a pen, we're good. $10,000 here. Oh, you want some more money here? Let's throw it here. It needs to stop. Regardless of whether they're Republican or conservative or freaking Democrats or progressive left, I don't care who it is. The executive branch is given way too much power with these executive orders and just the swiping of the pen. It needs to stop. We're trillions of dollars in debt. It needs to stop now. And it looks like it's stopping here with this judge from Texas. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.